Well, well. Welcome, 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 everybody. Whew, I haven't done this in a long time. It's been a minute since I've hosted my own podcast, but here we are. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're about to be recklessly petty. So, with that being said, I'm not even going to delay this for you guys. I'm not even going to make you wait. I'm not even going to pretend that we should be like on pause. We're here on YouTube because if we're not on YouTube, you saw how fast my shit came down, right? You saw how fast. Whoosh. So, you guys are not going to believe who my special guest is. Everybody hold their breath right now because nobody would ever think that the two of us would come together and ever have any type of conversation. But leading into this, I want everybody to know we're not best friends or anything like that. We're not going to be like breaking bread and like hanging out and like doing any of that shit. But you know what? I always have to say, everyone is loyal to me and no one is loyal to you. But once you see this person, you're going to know exactly what this petty is about. And anybody, here, I'll even give you guys a hint. Anybody who's been watching Trifecta lately, should know what the fuck this petty is about. So, without further ado, okay, I'm going to introduce and bring in my special guest. Everybody, welcome, Conservative Lens.
Hi. Hi, Keisha. How are you?
Good, how are you? Welcome, welcome,
I'm great.
welcome.
I think
Welcome.
you have a care package I sent over in advance of my arrival.
Oh, please
Yeah, you
hold.
might want to check. Yeah, I always come bearing gifts, especially on special occasions, and this is definitely a special occasion.
Oh, okay. Where did you send it? Because I don't see it.
I think it's via text.
No, it didn't come
In
through.
that
I didn't get it.
in the group,
No,
it's not the Google Drive.
no, but it's probably trying to come through because it's
Okay.
probably the file is large.
Right,
Well,
it is.
ladies and gentlemen, everyone welcome Conservative Lands. I know you guys are probably like, what the fuck is really going on right now? How the fuck did two of us come together? But if anybody knows that in Trifecta for the past about month, I have been focused on a special lawyer. Okay. So anybody from the clock app knows who that lawyer would be. Okay. So feel free to share it to the lawyer. Just in case Taco Tuesday is here, feel free to share it to your fucking friend. Okay? Anybody here who wants to share it out to MOD, feel free to do so. If MOD should enter the chat and the bitch wants to come here and try to defend herself, I might even give her 2 minutes. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. Now, with that being said, Linz, how would you
Yeah.
like to start?
Uh, okay, so a lot of people know I was very, very close with MOD. She's been to my house. We used to talk on the daily. She would confide in me, so on and so forth. I'm sure people have noticed that recently we haven't been around each other. There's reasons for that. Namingly, there are certain people in her group that have been doing some crazy stuff, like contacting the FBI, filing reports, giving my information as the reporting person against another person, going around the entire country doing that. And when we actually caught said person, which would be Corn Pop or Harris, however you want to say his name on TikTok, um, we went to Maud about it. Maud confirmed it. And then she told me to contact the FBI because what he did was a felony and we should absolutely proceed. So I did do that. And the FBI told me that, okay, well, if they're making threats towards you and towards other individuals, we need documentation on top of what you've given us. And absolutely not a problem. It's a public platform. We can do that. So we started recording people, and the threats that I was getting, threatening to come to my home, threats on swatting me, threats on just all sorts of stuff. So I do have a montage in that gift I gave you. Maud, it'll start off with a clip of Maud talking about how she is encouraging people to go the legal route when it comes to these types of things. Well, she already did that. Unbeknownst to you guys as her friends and her group, she had already told me to do that. She also admitted that she was coming after me, but not herself. She was having other people in her group do it. And she doesn't care if y'all get rolled because she doesn't give a fuck about any of you. So you guys are collateral damage. So having said all that, you guys came after me. Um, and yeah, the FBI has been informed. So they're going to come for you. Also, um, making threats of like to my life and stuff like that, and cocking firearms and all of that stuff, that's also a bad look. Um, so yeah, that's what you all have been doing. I've been quiet. Everybody in my group has been very quiet. We have stayed off the app. But those people have not stopped. Mod has not stopped. So somebody who's not about the drama has been starting a lot of drama with a lot of the people that have created the drama. Mod has historically told everybody that I'm the meddler, I'm the drama. It's her. She's the one that does it. I just cover her ass. And she allows me to be the scapegoat for all of those issues. So, yeah, that's how we would start off. Now, the reason why she's super upset now and decided to use private information involved in a police investigation to dox somebody, which a lawyer should know never to do, and especially publicly confess it, because you know it's supposed to be confidential per that recording. And you said nothing's ever confidential, but you know what doxing is, right? It's a legal term that means you can't put anybody's information out that you obtained that was not public. An internal police investigation is absolutely not public, and you know that. So it was really weird that you said, hey, by the way, this is confidential, but it doesn't, things don't ever stay confidential. And then you said somebody's whole government name, but you won't say my name. Weird. You'll say everybody else's name but mine. Why is that, Maud? Why don't you want to say my name? Could it be that I know the truth?
Oh, okay.
Could it be that I know all of your secrets? Could it be that when people need legal advice, you send them my way?
I'm sorry.
Could it
I'm
be, could it
sorry.
be, yeah, I mean, could it be all these things? Could it be that you expect people to cover for you? And as long as you know other people's skeletons, they're supposed to cover your skeletons. The problem is, you know, I don't have any of those. But
Oh,
you did expect me to be loyal to a
okay.
fault. As a matter of fact, some of your friends actually told me that that was my best and worst quality, that I was loyal to a fault and I would throw myself under a bus for my friends.
Hmm.
Okay, well, then you decided to come after people that were my friends when you decided not to actually be a good friend. So, yeah, now I'm here being karma, as you call it, that you have a drink with at the bar. Yeah, she and I are friends now. So,
Oh.
yeah, if
Hmm.
anybody has any questions, let
Okay.
me know. Yes, so her issue right now is that somebody lost their job. Um, a police officer lost their job.
Well, he
He lost. Yeah,
is that the husband?
yeah, yeah.
You just found out?
That would be Infamous's husband. The one
Oh,
that wrapped
shut
his
the
gun when they
fuck
were talking
up.
about some people should be put down, and they were referring to me. Those types, yeah. So we paid attention, especially
Oh.
since the FBI asked us to. So we paid attention. And then we saw you at work with your patrol car, your computer screen, and everything, with your attorney friend on the live,
I
right?
can't.
And this guy is being pulled over. He's for underage possession, drinking, whatever. And you all thought it was funny to make fun of his dialect and to flash him on camera, to put his information and his business out there, violating all of his constitutional rights. A lawyer should know better than to do that. A police officer should know better than to do that. And conservatives that claim to know the Constitution should absolutely know better than to do that. So, because you all, for your entertainment purposes and your grifting and all of that, decided that you were going to violate somebody's rights, we let the police department know. We just gave them the information, said, hey, look, this is what happened. This kid could sue you. This kid could, I mean, this is a big problem. um you would do with it what you will. They did an internal investigation and found that he in fact was, I guess, violating things. And so now they're upset because he lost his job. Well, you're on a public platform violating company policies, laws, and violating people's constitutional rights that you're supposed to uphold. So, what did you think was going to happen? Especially when you're running around threatening people. I mean,
Wow.
yeah. So
So
now I
so
have
so
conservatives
infamous
so
husband got
upset.
fired. So
Huh?
infamous's husband just got fired.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And so
Okay.
she's upset
Oh,
because yeah, how
okay.
could that happen? But I mean, your husband broke the law. He violated constitutional rights and
Mm,
he wasn't following his duties. So yeah,
okay.
we let them know. But it was your friend Maud
Oh.
that told me to call the FBI. And it was the FBI because of people in her group that decided to falsely report other women to the FBI. And
Oh.
here's the crazy part. This is the crazy part about this. And this is one of the reasons why I really, really stepped away from things and stopped backing certain people. Because the woman that you filed the false FBI report on and claimed she was a domestic terrorist is a black woman. The kid that got pulled over, whose constitutional rights were violated, was a black man. And you're a black lawyer. What are you doing?
If you don't stop saying that, if you
What
do
are you
not,
doing?
okay,
This is
okay,
my whole thing. I
okay,
I
hold on,
cannot
pause,
stand it.
pause, pause. Okay, can we stop with the lawyer bullshit? You know
I
damn well she
mean,
ain't no lawyer.
well,
Wh-
I did catch your trifecta hour was sent to me.
Oh, okay.
And
That's right.
uh
Trifecta on Fridays. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it was
Hmm.
it was interesting. The funny part about that was, she goes on and does like these AIs, right? These AI pictures and stuff. That is her mask for everybody that doesn't know. That's not truly Mod. This persona that she's created on this app is also not truly Mod. Keisha, do you happen to have that lovely picture?
Oh shit. Pause. I wasn't prepared. Hold on. I
Well,
could get it.
it was in my care package, but
Okay, hold on. Please pause. Please hold on. I'm sure I got it. Me, if I would have known, I would have.
well, I was hoping you were going to have the care package
I
uploaded.
didn't get it. It's just probably the file is too big.
Yeah,
But it's okay. But hold on a
but I
second,
don't want
cause.
to deprive,
But keep
you know.
talking. Keep talking. Keep talking. I'll get
Yeah,
it.
so again, this person, there's been a lot of things out about her, and she's like, you know, well, those people don't know me. Those people have never met me. Those people don't know how to look me up. Those people don't know, oh, well, there's people that don't like me. But what are you going to say when it's somebody whose home you've been to, who's, uh, who you talk to on a regular basis? And
Yeah. Hmm.
now I'm telling you, she's not an attorney. She's not a lawyer. She's never practiced, as a matter of fact. There's this guy named Conservative Flash that hangs out with her, and he also knows this, which is why, even though she knows that he looked her up and got it confirmed by an actual PI, that he still gets to hang around her because he ran into her at a convention. Not a legal convention.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
not a
What
legal one.
what kind of convention were we at?
It was like a real estate property management type convention. Yeah. It was not a legal convention.
That's what the fuck I've been saying.
Yeah.
Why are we running around on the lie for so long?
Oh, also, not the property owner, not a business owner, not making $4 million, not making any $1 million. Um, like you're a slumlord, ma'am. Like, stop. You're a slumlord. I've read the reviews. They're terrible. You should not.
Wow.
You should focus more on your tenants, I think, than TikTok. Make them give you better reviews.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So I know that there was this, I don't know why I can't find this, but it's like buried deep in these 9,075 photos that I have. But
Let
what we
me
wanted
see.
to show you was her mugshot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I showed it on Trifecta because it was sent to me. But unfortunately, it looks like I deleted it from my phone because, like, why would I want to keep that bullshit in my phone? Um, so I have a question. So I was told that she had an affair, but I was also told that it was somebody on TikTok.
Mm.
So there were two people on TikTok that she had an affair with. So I'm gonna say the names. This is what's been told to me. This what came to my DMs on Instagram.
Oh wow, you're going in for it immediately.
Yeah. I mean the people are here. The people are here. The people
Yeah.
are here.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
I did
people
tell you no holds barred, and I did tell you that I will answer anything in a yes or no.
okay, and then we going because I also I see some people say they got the mugshot. Okay, so check it out. So I heard that this is what was sent to me because I can't like confirm or deny or whatever. I don't know the truth, but maybe you
Okay.
do. Jason Electric. I can't with these fucking people. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Because I'm going to tell you why I called it.
Really nice guy, by the way. Really, really nice guy.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to tell you
but
why I had to
yeah,
call this out. I'm going to tell you why I had to call it out because she did a whole Me Too movement
yeah.
on LJ.
I know about
Okay.
that.
She
Hmm.
called this man out and she held this whole movement when he never even met these hoes in real life. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
All right, so cool. So, and then the other person that I heard was Chaos.
You would have to ask him that one.
Okay, I'm gonna
I'm
ask.
not getting that one. That one's different.
That one's different.
Hmm.
Okay, okay,
You'd really have to ask him.
okay. See, this has always been my biggest problem with the bullshit. Right. This has always
Mm,
been why I get super, super, super irritated. Is
yeah.
because people pretend to be something they're not, and then everybody covers for them, and then next thing you know they're able to hold a whole performance show of LJ and Me Too movement, and he did this and he did that, and none of it was true. That's even the worst part. He did nothing like these stupid bitches were saying, and she was fucking on people while married, and she's not a lawyer.
Yeah, that pretty much
Okay,
sums that part up. Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
okay,
Oh, really
continue.
quick.
Uh-huh.
Also, um,
Uh-huh.
you know, I really don't like a lot of the people in her crew that call themselves conservatives. It was also brought to my attention that Infamous's claim is that I was trying to bully her and run her off of the app. And that's why she and I stopped talking, is because she stood up to me and all this. Now, why, she's leaving a lot out. And since she decided that she wanted to speak on this publicly, I think it's only fair that hmm, I enlighten everybody to the other half that she doesn't want to talk about. It's because, I knew that she was going after Professor Mike.
Who is this?
And
Infamous?
yes,
Oh, the married girl whose husband that just got fired?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Interesting story is
Hmm.
that was, I mean, she kind of actually got caught by her husband, and her husband questioned her. And his ex-wife, Professor Mike's ex-wife, actually is the one that talked to Infamous's husband to reassure him nothing was going on, because she truly believed that at the time, even though Infamous had confessed to me and a few other people. And as soon as she had confessed that, I really started to back away from her. And, people had asked me why I hadn't outed her before, but nobody had ever asked me. I'm not going to lie for people, but nobody had ever asked me the right questions. So a deal was
Well,
struck
okay,
with
again,
certain people to get her off the app. She was supposed to, she didn't. It wasn't about bullying. I was trying to help you kind of protect your family. You said the money was too important. You needed the money, the app for the money. So that's why we're not friends. That's it.
okay, but see,
Yeah.
here's the fucked up part even about that is that somebody just sent me the picture, but it doesn't allow me to bring it in because it's not on video, but that's the mugshot.
Now see, that's without the mask. That's so this whole persona that you see in all these AI pictures, that's a mask. That's not truly who she is. That is who she is. She spent some time in the courtroom, but I don't think it's how she's portrayed it to be. That's literally the way it's been, is doing that. So,
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
I think the shitty part about this too, because even with Professor Mike, and now he's married and he's living his best life with his beautiful wife. A lot of people have been put through a lot of hell on this app behind
Mhm.
these very people.
Mhm.
And I have a problem with um I have a problem with bullshit, and that's why I've always called it out. That's why I always call it out, because I just don't give a fuck. Either you're going to be real or you're not. But when
Yeah.
you're a person who's literally tried to destroy people,
Yep.
literally, you've literally put things on people that were not true. You've literally repeated things about people that were not true. Why now should any of us give a fuck? Why now is it important that we know the truth? Why couldn't we have known the truth before? Why
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. So, a lot of people say that, like, why now, right? Back before, people weren't really getting hurt in real life, right? It was just debating, it was TikTok. Um, but seeing people's personal lives affected, with no remorse, no accountability, um, yeah, that's not right. And so you got to stop it somewhere. Um, and so that's kind of what's pushed me to say, hey, look, you know everybody trusts and believes this person, and they think that this person is out for their best interest and truly cares about them, and she is building these lasting bonding friendships. And no, she didn't, because I mean, literally, she's sending you all after me because she doesn't want to do it, because she's trying to save her own ass. And um, yeah, she doesn't give a shit if y'all get rolled. She doesn't care. It doesn't bother her in the slightest. Matter of fact, her words verbatim were, "I don't give a fuck about those people. Do what you got to do." So, like your mod squad and all those people, y'all are collateral damage. She don't care. She does not care at all.
Okay.
So,
Because,
do with it what you will. But anytime she goes to give you legal advice, don't take it. I will put that disclaimer out there. Do not take it. Um, if she, I mean, I would just not believe anything that she says at this point. Anything that she spins is going to be a half truth or not at all. Um, and yeah, I mean, no, nobody should be afraid of her.
okay,
She
okay,
builds
hold on.
her, she
Because we
builds
have
this
some.
persona on the app, and that's all it is. This is not who she truly is.
Okay, so I have some, like, because the comments are lit. I know you
I
can't
bet.
see them, but boy, I can. So my question is, my real question: um when you knew that she was doing things that were just recklessly out of pocket and things that really could destroy someone's life, why didn't you come forward then? Why didn't you say something then? Because like I think the thing that stands out for me the
Is there a
hardest,
particular instance that you're asking about?
like, okay, so like, yes, LJ, because that shit was
Okay.
really, hold on, that for me at the time I didn't even fuck with Lumberjack. Like I didn't even
Right.
talk to Lumberjack. But to say that a man raped women when he didn't, like that shit for me was like I don't I there's certain things I can get past. It's the internet, it's whatever. But that I could not shake. Like that shit for me was fucked up.
So, so my understanding of it from my vantage point in it was, and I really didn't have anything to do with that whole part of it. My part in that situation was more on an account with a, an impersonation of another person, that I was trying to help out there. So it was kind of two separate pieces that ended up merging into one because it all had to do with Lumberjack.
Uh-huh.
Um, but on the other side of things, for it was my understanding it wasn't like anything physical had taken place or anything like that. It was more of like, conversations, and then women weren't being told the truth, or that any information that they were given was being used against them to kind of blackmail them. That's as far as I knew what that issue was. So yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know, I don't think I know me or anybody, I don't think anybody accused him of like raping anybody. I
No, they
think.
did. They did. It
Oh,
was
who?
serious. No, it was serious because that was like the biggest thing. It was like he literally did something to these women when it was never even physical. Like he never met them in person. So like that particular situation was completely and utterly disgusting. And then I think it just keeps going. Like it's like a nonstop. So I always struggle in this space of like at some point you have to say, nah, that shit's not, this ain't right. Like this is
Hmm.
fucked up. Cause like for me, I put my main account. I went on my main account into the live and I was like, no, you got no. You could call Lumberjack a lot of things. I mean, I call him a fraud all the time. But what the fuck you will not say is that he raped women. Like you will not put this on him. And so like that particular situation is like whatever. And it's the same thing with fucking Fatball.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing with Fatball. Everybody falls out and then they come back together. Everybody falls out and then they come back together. So like I guess for me it's just kind of like what are we doing? Um and why now? You know, that's why I asked the question. Like I say, the people is on one, the comments. Whew.
Yeah, typically
um
if I have a fallout with somebody, sometimes I'll give them another chance, if it's warranted, depending on what it is. But usually if you do it the second time, like, yeah, I'm good, which is why, I'm not friends with a lot of those people. So
oh, I have a question. Somebody asked a
yeah.
question. Were you still going after you and Ashley? Were you still going after Mike and Megan like a couple months ago?
No. So once their divorce was final, I mean, we were kind of more handling things on the back end of things. Um, the only things that we really were kind of combating against were things that were being said about, Victoria on the app, because she wasn't on the app. So, there were certain accusations being made about her or against her that we knew were not true. So we kind of stuck up for her in that respect. But I mean, Ash and I haven't even thought about them for months and months.
Okay. Tina wants to know
So
why your hair is so dry.
I don't think it's dry. It's quite shiny.
Tina told me
It's
to ask you that.
also my hair. It's not a wig. It's not
Oh,
extensions
oh,
or anything
oh.
like that. So
Is her
yeah,
hair
that's just
real? Is her hair real?
no, no.
Okay. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna just say this. I don't know why you guys fuck with fraudulent people. I don't know why you guys allow these fraudulent fucks to stay on the internet and lie. Um, but I think it's important, because the comments don't like you. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think it's important that we all recognize that these little things that once were nothing are now big things, and the things
Yes.
that meant nothing to anybody um means something to somebody, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
sorry, but my fucking shit is lit. Um Hold on. Oh, so Tony wants to know, why did you come up with the idea to call the hotel?
So, okay. So we actually had the hotel receipt, right? We actually saw it. But it was something that Victoria had provided to us, and she didn't want to put it out there because it came from her, and she was trying her best to try to keep things as civil as possible. So my idea was, okay, well, one of us can call the hotel and say, hey, look, my husband stayed here. We've got to do it for our travel. Um, let's can you email a receipt or whatever of the room or whatever the dates, because there were two separate dates, two separate hotels.
Okay.
But I, that was kind of like a brainstorming thing, like, is this something that can be done, whatever the case was. Now Sammy, on the other hand, was the one that was like, oh, I could do that, I can call the hotel. And we were like, well, hold off, like, it's one of those things where you're trying to brainstorm to help somebody out, and you're looking at things that are legally tangible, and things that can be used in court. So that's
Okay.
kind of my capacity of helping.
So have we learned our lesson? Maybe we should mind our business.
Well, the funny thing about this was, with that whole situation,
Mm-hmm.
is how I even got brought into it. So we were all on a live, and somebody had, so Cajun was actually in there, and Cajun was talking about a live from the night before, and how she was trying really hard to be nicer to people. And was talking about the girl side of the box and the boy side of the box. Well, I knew who she was talking about at that current time, because Mike and Megan were in a box together, consistently. So MOD had no idea. So she kept asking questions about who it was. And of course, I didn't say anything. We were kind of trying to find ways to hint about it, but get the conversation off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Country Joe was in there, and he, gave a very obvious statement as to what it was. And so then somebody in the comments that was friends with Mike, had said stuff in the chat, and then automatically came up, kind of spilled the tea. I kind of had that reaction to it. Um, and then, of course, the next thing I know, I'm being called all sorts of names, being drugged because of the reaction that I had. And then at that point, that's when Sammy reached out to me and asked, if they could ask me questions, because I was a paralegal, and because I did handle custody, divorce, and all that. So I said, well, I could do what I can to help. So I did go in there, and I just answered basic questions. Like, usually if you have two parents out of state, primary physical goes to one, joint legal goes to two. There's travel arrangements, things like that. So, it was pretty low key until, people were threatening, calling me names, trying to drag me and everything. So that's kind of what amped that up.
Okay. So we have to, if we gonna have this conversation, we got to backtrack some time and go back to when you told Fatball that we were racist. Do you remember that? Do you remember that whole thing you started? Remember when
No.
I was in the live? Remember when I was in the live and you sent that whole like paragraph, and then he sent me like a novel talking about the white, people in the live. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So, okay, so I could talk about that too. Um, so we were all in F Balls Live, right? And then you guys
Hmm.
came in, and it was like, oh, it was really bright. Now it's really dark, kind of thing, or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you and I kind of went back and forth on a police report and things like that. So I had just messaged him, and I was like, listen, you know, thank you for, having, and this was when I was very new to the debate side.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, look, thanks for having me in your lives and stuff like that, but I think I just don't think this is for me. Because it was kind of disheartening that we're all kind of debating the same topics, but there still seems to be these issues and this kind of division, which I really didn't understand. So I just told him, thanks. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And, I told him, I was like, look, I just don't understand, why race was a factor, why that came up. That hasn't really been an issue in lives that we've been in. I really like them. I I like their podcast. I said I really liked Inked. I liked the things that she said. I agreed with a lot of the things that she said. I just don't understand why I got that energy. And he was like, well, I think I'll talk to her. And I said, well, I said, look, I said, it's up to you what you want to do. I know they're your friends and stuff like that. I said, but as a newcomer or an outsider looking in, I just, I didn't warrant anything for that. So I just don't know if maybe I did something wrong or I said something wrong or, if I just rubbed them the wrong way or whatever, but I'm just going to keep my distance going forward. Now, what happened after that, I don't know. But when I was called into question, I absolutely came up into the live that, you guys were calling me into and said whatever you guys asked me. So,
Okay.
but I
Um.
wasn't calling you guys racist per se. I just said I don't know why race was a factor in that live,
Okay. Well,
but I never labeled you as racist.
Okay. Well,
Don't really throw that around unless it's warranted.
Okay. Well, we're not racist, but that's neither here nor
Right.
there. I mean, we do have an opinion, and we are who we are, and we'll say what the fuck we want to say whenever the fuck we want to say it, and nobody cares. We don't care. I just wanted to ask, just because you're here. I
Right. No
wish I
problem.
could even point out the 750 million questions, because I'm going to tell you right now, no one feels like you're taking accountability.
Accountability for what?
Anything you've done.
I mean, I've told everybody from start to finish how I came into anything.
Yeah. Oh, and they want to get back to the fake lawyer. So, um, you said one time that you went to court with her.
No, no, no. I never said I went to court with her. I said I was on the phone while she was in court,
Oh,
which
you
I,
were
I
on the phone.
was, which I was. But I think she was waiting, and she was. It was like a Zoom court, um, but that's not unusual for property disputes. Warrant and debts, writ of fiery phase, things like that.
Oh, so she wasn't in a courtroom. She was on a Zoom
On
call?
a Zoom, yeah, it was like Zoom court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because you said you was a paralegal, so we all know that you can't take your phones
Right. No,
inside
no,
of
no,
the
no, no. I
courtroom.
didn't say I. So the only time I've ever seen Maud in person is when she came to my home. That's it. But I was talking to her while she was waiting for Zoom court. I could kind of hear when they were waiting to call up cases or whatever.
Mm.
And so, she would say, "Okay, well, let me call you back. They're calling me up or whatever." And so, knowing what she does, it was more like warrant debts, rid of fiery phase, things of that nature.
Bree would like to tell you this. Can you read this?
Okay, well, whatever. I don't really care.
Listen. Okay. I think for me, and I'm not gonna. I mean, I think the 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 biggest thing for me is, I'll say it again, is that how did you not know she was a fraud? How could you not see through her bullshit? I mean, the bitch is telling us her hair is real when you know damn well she had a whole afro puff on the top of your head while she was looking at your horse and trying to shoot a gun. Like, you could see, like, the nappy
Yeah.
crown.
So again, I know a lot of people were concerned as to whether or not she was a lawyer or whatever the case was. It really didn't matter to me whether she was a lawyer or not. She was my friend, right? It didn't matter. When she was, trying to explain it to me, I said, listen, it doesn't matter to me whether you're an attorney or not. That's it doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. You don't have to prove anything to me. You don't really have to prove anything to anybody as far as I'm concerned. We're not walking around with briefcases and, TikTok degrees and things of that nature when we're getting up and debating. So I really didn't care. Um, you know, and
Okay.
of course, when they're your friends, you're going to defend people. And
Oh,
that's what I
oh,
did.
okay. Here's the problem. I won't fuck with people. I will not call somebody my friend who's on some bullshit. Okay,
Hmm.
especially when you get me caught up in the lies. So what I think is interesting is that she used this degree to put people down. She used her degree to appeal to authority. When the reality is, everybody who did all of the research, I would like to assume that was you as well, from SK to whomever, right? All these people now she's fucked around and fallen out with because they were doing like all the research and giving her the information. Um, why wasn't that shut down? The bitch is not a lawyer. We've all known that. And I mean, I've never cared if she was a lawyer. I said it before. Stop talking about what you do and then people won't fucking harass you about it. But she's used that to shit on people.
I mean,
That's,
I get what you're saying, but
yeah.
again, she was my friend, and I
Okay.
didn't care whether or not she was a lawyer or not.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
we'll
lots of
accept that.
people, yeah, lots of people say, certain things about themselves on the internet doesn't necessarily make it true. I don't know why it would be, why
Yeah, I say I'm
it
skinny,
always
but I'm
has to
not.
be, yeah, but I don't understand why it always has to be a topic of conversation is my thing. And I think
Oh, because she
because,
made it a topic, Linz. She made it the topic of
well,
conversation. It's like her saying her hair is real. Everything is her. She always volunteers the information that no one's asked for. Like, no one ever asked her for the information, but she volunteered it. Now, when it all surfaces, right, and somebody who was her best friend on the application
right,
is letting the world know, because I said the same thing to fucking Fatball. How the fuck you break bread with somebody and then talk shit?
right.
Okay. Then you fucking lie to one person and then lie to the other person and then keep all the infighting. So this bitch should have been exposed a long fucking time ago. Like her shit should have been aired out like a fucking long time ago. I mean that's just me though. That's why I've been talking about it like every
I'm,
fucking week.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of people did air it out. A lot of people did go after. A lot of people did post information. But I mean, there were people that she didn't know, or there was just a doc spin, or it was fabricated, or whatever the case was, right? Um, but like I said, now a lot of people are getting affected, when it comes to the FBI, when it comes to, people's information being put out there, legal names and things like that, and not through public domains or anything like that. So, now that there has to be an end to it. So that's kind of why, yeah, and again, her and her crew are 100% the aggressors. Everybody's kind of tried to leave it alone. Everybody's kind of tried to ignore it, and just deal with the channels that we needed to deal with, based off what we were asked for legal purposes. But, there's some people that just don't want to let that go. There's some people that are more concerned about reputations and friendships on an app than they are about human beings. So it's kind of where we're at.
Well, I mean, you were there once, right?
As where
Protecting your friend.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thing. I mean, I do protect my friends, but I also, um, protecting somebody who is going around bullying people that are, you know, not doing anything to them, and, them saying their government names and all of that, that's gone too far.
Okay.
So,
You never dox nobody, Linz? Because I mean, I think we had a conversation once about it.
yeah, I mean, you asked me if I doxed anybody. No, I've never put anybody's public information or private information out, public information out.
Okay.
None of that. So, have I looked into people? Sure. Anybody that threatened me, would I look into them? Yeah, but would I use it? No.
Okay. You sure about that?
Yeah, positive.
Okay. Just checking. Because
Yeah,
you know, this is getting out. There's some people who want to talk to you.
yeah. I mean,
The
I get it.
comments are lit. They
I
want
get
to.
it.
They're like, I want a box. Oh, guess who's saying hold up?
Who?
Cajun herself. Cajun herself. She's saying hold
Yeah.
up. Wait a minute.
Who did I dox?
Listen, you know what? We might, I don't even know. I should have sent, people want to talk. Listen, okay, I'm going to tell you like this.
So where did I say somebody's government name or post their government information or their private information or even their public information anywhere? Did I say their full name on a live? Did I give their address? Did I do any of that stuff? No, no.
Somebody who, somebody typing this, somebody's saying they're currently being sued for doxing. Here's my thing, because I always frown upon doxing and I always frown upon
Right.
looking into people's personal information because I think it's just a bunch of bullshit. But somebody's saying Hellcat. You know who Hellcat is?
Mm-hmm.
She's saying you're looking into her. Is that true?
I did look into her, yeah.
Oh,
I did look into her because she went on my friend's Facebook and put a picture of her nephew, her autistic nephew, and her dead grandmother. So, yeah, I did look into you. Absolutely. Because you
oh,
posted information about my friend that was private. You actually went onto her family members' Facebook pages and things like that. And you went after her family members. So, yeah, absolutely. Sure. I looked into you,
okay,
but I didn't do anything with it.
okay, all right, all right. Um, because everybody's got questions. Because everybody seems to feel like you've looked into them, like a lot of people.
Listen, if any of you have threatened me or threatened to come after me in any way, yeah, I looked into you. Absolutely. Why? Because if you do, there are recourses and ramifications of things that I can do.
So all these people you've looked into, has
Mhm.
anybody come after you? No.
No, no, no. There's actually people that have threatened me. There are people that have talked about swatting me. There are people that have, tried to post, my family members or things like that, things in my personal life. So, yeah, if you're going to do those things, understand I can do them too. I just don't go to the extent that you all do.
Who's you all?
Not you. I'm just saying, like the people that are making these comments. Really speaking
Oh,
to them.
okay. So what's the extent that they do it? Because I didn't know there was levels to this.
They were sharing information about my children with people on the left. They were making accounts with my children's faces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah, you guys are
Well,
gonna do that.
yeah, I get it because I mean,
Yeah,
I got people making accounts about me because of Belinda, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. She'll know how to keep her damn mouth shut, and then I got other people coming after me because of Tina. So it's collateral damage. I get it. But I don't give a fuck. People can do whatever you want. I always tell people, I promise, if you come looking, you won't like what you find. Okay,
right.
so my question now going forward, now that we've had this conversation, and there's many, many people listening, and there's many, many people in the comments that can't stand you. Um,
Well,
will
I'm
we
sure
ever
based off
hear
of who they
about?
are, my
Yeah,
feelings with for them are probably pretty mutual.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Will you? Will we not no longer hear your name wrapped up in some scandal of bullshit now?
I mean, no. I mean, like I said, for the most part, if I'm called into a debate, I go in there. But I mean, I've really not been on the app for months now. My whole point, goal, and focus was to get on the app and make sure that we won the election. I did that. I'm not going to sit here and keep arguing the same talking points over and over again when they come to tariffs or anything else. It's just kind of boring at this point. So if people need me to come in for sources, things like that, I'm happy to do that here and there if I have time. But for the most
Okay.
part, I'm just kind of over all of this nonsense. And the people that are remaining on TikTok day in and day out, they're there for the drama, not me.
Okay. So you mentioned the mod squad. Who are these people? So we know who to be on the lookout for?
Yeah, so she has a group. I mean, she's announced them. She makes videos about them. You've got Bees in the Trap. You've got Bless Texas, Mal Florida, Aunt Liz. Um, Brookie, Queen Jen, all of them. Yeah, that's the Mod Squad.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Those are probably the assholes who reported my live.
most likely.
Anyways, okay, so just so you know, if I took a survey and a poll right now, 98% of the people say you're lying.
I mean, a lot of people, you know, again, there's no reason for me to lie.
Okay.
There's
I
really
mean,
not.
I'm taking it at face value. I mean, you over here exposing what used to be your friend. So, now we all know the truth. Now we all know that she's not a lawyer.
Yep.
Okay, we know her hair is fake. We know she was fucking on men while she was married. What else do we need to know before what else you think we should know?
Um, you know, I think I would honestly just say that um, there's certain people who um, care more about ego than they do about people. There's people that care more about um, reputation, things like that. I don't care who is right. I care what is right. And I always try to be on the side of right as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Defend those that need to be defended. Um, but at the same time, the watching people get relentlessly bullied, um, that's a whole new level. And I mean, it's not just bullying on an app like sticks and stones, right? But when you're going to the depths of contacting the FBI, threatening to have people swatted, getting involved with people's real lives, um, that's a whole different situation. That's beyond an app at that point.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm gonna say this: you drew in the audience because there's 101 people here
well,
watching this moment. So we're gonna get ready to. Oh wait, I got some people pausing in the comments. They're talking about pause. Uh, what I'm gonna say, because we can wrap this up because we ain't gotta be here all night talking about the bald headed bitch. Who's not really a lawyer. That shit is just aggravating. But I would appreciate it if you can like maybe stay out of the drama. Like, I mean, I
yeah,
can't.
that's not an issue.
I can't go remiss without saying that because when it all really boils down, we've all gotten to this space because of bullshit that's happened on an app. And it's quite disgusting.
Yep.
So I think it's best we all just mind our business. Maybe we should all start there, fucking tend to the business that pays us. But with that being said, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you having the chat.
Yeah,
Um,
no problem.
Hold on. Yeah, see, shouldn't a lawyer know better than a docs person? Docs people, yeah, that's why I don't docs people. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Um, if she was really about who she says she is, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But who are we talking about? The
Yeah.
fraudulent herself. So, anyways, so the next time anybody comes upon MOD, and she's trying to, she's not even a realtor; she's a property manager. And I'm not a good one at that. And anybody tries to, Tina's not here. Talking about let Tina up. Tina is not even here. This is about to go away. We can go live. And she tries to throw some bullshit out at you. Now we have heard it from the horse's mouth. Had to do that one. That was like a great one.
Right.
Um, and so we can just let it rock. We can just let it rock from here.
Yeah.
Um, Thanks for coming out, everybody. Wait, Keisha can't. They took my live. Thanks for everybody for joining us. Thanks, Lynn, for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
And I'm just gonna say this right now. Let's be honest. You probably won't see me again for a year. Anyway, all right, everybody,
Probably.
deuces. Look,
All right.
I don't look. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. All
Bye.
right. See ya.